All right, guys, so today we are going to the unfair labor practice strike against Kaiser Permanente, and this is week 2. So I'm going to go ahead and walk the line a couple times. Going to look around, meet up with some friends, some co-workers, and then be supportive of unity and solidarity. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of show you a couple things, and just kind of talk about what's going on. So, and then any updates. But yeah, we're gonna just just gonna take you along with me, and just so you can guys experiencing what I'm experiencing. Not that I want you guys to go on strike, because you don't get paid for this. I'm not getting paid as I'm doing this. So, but somewhere along the line, I got to find supplemental income, because I don't know how long the strike is going to go. But, as long as we show unity and solidarity, maybe we can get Kaiser to just talk to us, and then that way we can get a contract going. That's the big part. That's the takeaway from all this. This is why we're striking, because Kaiser won't come to the table. Now, if Kaiser kept coming to the table, even though we disagreed, I don't think we would have striked. Because that's just, we wouldn't be able to do anything, but because, they're still coming to the table and negotiating. Maybe we might find a way that we can get something working contract, and then that we would all agree upon in the next 4 years. So, because our contracts expire every 4 years, and that's the time we renegotiate, because maybe problems develop that happen. Like the pandemic, when that happened, that caught everybody off guard and was unprepared, but both Kaiser and the union kind of got together and formulated a plan to take care of the members, you guys, the patients. And I'm not sure how everything worked out on that part, because I was in home health at that time, and let me tell you, it really sucked. I think I'll save that for another video, but yeah. But hopefully Kaiser will come back and talk to us. So anyway, let me show you what's going on down the line. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. All right. This is week 2 of the ULP strike. Still looking for a fair contract. This is how it goes, guys. We're all here in unity and solidarity. Still waiting for Kaiser to go to the table so we can get a fair contract. Oh my God. A lot of food boxes there, guys. But don't worry, it'll get all cleaned up.
What's happening? What's
when systems break, they realign. Maria, the local 1700 on the front line. We know.
We got away from the loud music. Yes, Okay guys, so we are on week 2 of the ULP strike against Kaiser, and basically we're still asking them to come to the table. And here to report, today is Monday, February the 2nd, and on Tuesday, February the 3rd, Kaiser had called us and they're going to come back to the table. So we're going to go and negotiate. But this is at the local level. And what that means is to each individual union that's out there, because as part of the alliance, there's several different unions all together representing the different licenses, like the RNs, the physical therapists, the pharmacists. Then you have the LVNs, then you have midwives, lab techs, lab techs, then we have the farm techs. So the pharmacists and the farm techs have 2 different unions. Next week, Monday, February the 9th, the farm techs and the lab techs, they are going on strike. They already called a 10-day notice last week. So they're going to be joining us if Kaiser doesn't come to the table. But since Kaiser didn't come to the table for them, they're still going to go ahead until they negotiate to get a contract. The strike is going to keep going until we get a contract, a fair contract. So what does that mean? Of course. So if we look at what Kaiser's been doing, Kaiser's been advertising that they are putting us out as the bad guys, the nurses, because they want us to take the deal that they have, that they're giving us, which is, and they already put it out there, it's a 21.5% raise for 4 years. So what does that mean? That means 4 years we're going to get raises. So it's all split off, divided by 4. That's the raise we're going to get within 4 years, because our contract renews every 4 years. Okay, if that makes sense. I know I'm kind of rambling here. So we just need Kaiser to just talk with us. That's it. That's what we're doing. This strike wouldn't have happened. Okay, this open-ended strike would not have happened if Kaiser would just kept coming to the table and negotiating. Even if they didn't agree, they would still negotiate. So, and I know, we're supposed to be doing patient care, go out and do our job, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but you guys got to understand that across the nation, this is happening, okay, where nurses are getting burned out. You got higher patient to nurse ratios. They're not all the same here in California. California has different ratios for different levels of patients, where it's like med-surg, ICU, NICU, stuff like that. So there's different ratios. That's a California law, so they have to abide by that. So that part doesn't change. But what happens is, when people call out for medical reasons or having surgery, they got injured at work because they're trying to hurry up so they can catch another patient, and they pulled a muscle in their back. So now workman's comp is involved in that, and then they're off for a certain amount of time, or they get put on light duty. Just like in my case, when I injured my wrist on duty, I was willing to do light duty because that's how it was written by the doctor. I could do light duty, so So I thought I was going to do office work. Nope. They said I can't work. I'm like, why? So I was off for 2.5 years until my wrist got better, so before I could come back. Now my wrist isn't 100%. I'm still working in pain, but in time it's starting to level off a little bit, but not by much. Anyway, we're just looking for something that's fair. That's all we're doing here. So you can call us names, whichever, but I'm just telling you guys that if you've ever been a caregiver, you would kind of know. Because this is what we're looking for. We're looking for a fair contract. Look at that. Look at that. This is all that we're looking for. Okay, so God, how do you explain it without sounding like we're just out here for ourselves? We're not, okay? But what Kaiser is putting out there is that they gave us a fair and the highest, raise possible, 21.5%. Okay, that's true. But what they don't tell you is the takeaway. So what they want to do is create 2 tiers. So you have the people that have already been here, they're grandfathered in on their benefits, and then you have the new nurses that are coming in. Everybody's going to get the 21.5% raise, okay? But in one of the tiers, they're going to lose all the benefits. No retirement, no medical, okay? The medical part, I'm not sure. Okay, let me backstep on that. I know there's no retirement, and there's no benefit in that. No retirement. It might be medical. I'm not sure. But that's being taken out in order to get us the 21.5%. Okay. It's not about the 21.5%. Okay. It's about the benefits that are being lost and the separation of all nurses. Being in the 2-tier. Why is that? Why can't we just all be together? So basically what it is the model to kind of disrupt or break up the union. Whether you guys agree with the union or not, that's not the point. The point is the union helps everybody to be safe. They make us go through education to make sure that our skills are sharp and spot on, okay, so we can provide excellent care to the patients. And that's part of the motto that Kaiser has, okay? I know, I've said this before, I'm just repeating. But hoping that Kaiser comes and just talks. That's all we want. We just want to talk. We want to get a fair contract out. We want to get these people back in working. We want to get these people back in to provide care for you guys, the patients, the members, because your premiums already went up, okay? Your premiums already went up. So where is the quality care now that we are out here striking because Kaiser won't talk to us? Okay, like I said, if Kaiser would talk to us, this wouldn't happen. We'd be in there providing care for the patients, for the members, and doing our best with what we have on the table, because we're also looking at trying to get more nurses in there to make it safe. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, if you're a Kaiser member, have you guys noticed that it takes longer to see your doctor? It takes longer for the care to be provided. You're waiting longer times in the ER. You're waiting hours, okay? I mean, multiple hours, 4 to 8 hours, and some of you guys just walk out, okay? I'm part of the crew that is there, that is making appointments for some of you guys, because you don't want to wait in the ER. It's not about, you're getting sick. You don't want to wait there for hours, 8 hours, before you even get care, and then to find out that, there's nothing they can do. What? They're supposed to be able to do something, but it's because they're under a lot of pressure, because there's a lot of patients there, and there's not enough staff. Kaiser won't provide the staff, but yet when we go out on strike, suddenly there's staff there. When there's a special presentation there, suddenly there's staff there. Everything's being covered, okay? Even in my department where I'm at, we're a little short staffed. But we manage. You know, we got some good people in there, but that's not the point. We shouldn't be burning ourselves out to provide care, because we have lives too. You know, I know I'm going to get crap for this, but you know, this is part of what we're fighting for. And you know, I don't know if you guys noticed, but you know, we do care. I care. You know, I go out of my way to provide the best care I can. I mean, I've gone to the point where I've got upset patients because they don't want to be hanging around because, you know, maybe their blood pressure might be a little bit high. I have to go check it. They've been waiting because I had another patient in front of me that, you know, needed more assistance. So I had to wait until they got the assistance till I got to the other patient. So then, you know, the patient's there, you're like, I don't want to be here and stuff. And I go, well, you know, you pay a lot of money for this insurance, right? And he goes, yeah. I go, I just want to make sure you get your money's worth. So let's take the time. I'm here. Use up my time. And let's get the care that you need. Let's get everything going. And then we can send you home. You know, he was a lot happier that I even said that he's going to get his money's worth. You know, that's what I do. I try to provide the best care I can. But when we get overrun, I can't provide that care. It becomes unsafe after a while, you know, because we're trying to rush, trying to get the thing, trying to get to the next patient so they're not waiting as long. But unfortunately, it happens. You guys have to wait. But if we had more staff, you wouldn't have to wait as long, and then we can take the time with you individually to get you that quality care that you're paying for. So that's what we're fighting for. Because if we give in the next 4 years, when the next contract comes up, they're going to take away more and more and more. And guess what, guys? You guys aren't going to have the nurses available because they're going to leave. So anyway, that's my rant. This is week 2 of the ULP strike with Kaiser and UHCP. So, all right, I'm gonna walk the line again so you can see it. But yeah. Bye, Francis. Well, that about does it for me today. It's like each day we're only out there for like 4 to 5 hours, you know, and then Kaiser gets to go back to regular, you know, business without all the chaos of all of us out there. And so we also put a banner out there that this facility, we are under strike. So But yeah, I'm just totally hoping that Kaiser will go back to the table. But they did call us, and they're supposed to go back Tuesday, February the 3rd, and they're going to talk locally. So it means they're just going to, was it the Blue Book, I think they said. So we'll see. We'll see how everything goes, how negotiations go, and all that. But yeah, I don't want to say this is fun time or good times, because striking's never a fun time, never a good time. Nobody wins in these things. You know, there's always going to be losses somewhere. But as long as we are able to talk, get a fair contract, even if it's not 100% what we want to get, what Kaiser wants to get, as long as, you know, we all agree that this is how we're going to work for the next 4 years, then I'm good with that. So I just want to get back and just keep going, keep doing what I'm doing, and, you know, just earn a living, earn a good wage and stuff like that. You know, whether you guys disagree with me or not, but, you know, this has to happen. I don't think this was the best way to go. So, but eventually we'll get there, and we'll be able to work together, plan together, and, you know, get things done for quality, affordability for the patients that are there at Kaiser. So, but all right, guys. Well, thank you guys for coming along. Really appreciate you. And until the next time, I take you to another wicked place. Good night, guys.